Hi, I'm Margaret, and welcome to Garden School. Well, today it is way too cold to do very much outside. And I've already done my seed inventory, but I was thinking a little bit about seed viability and seed vigor. And so the question is, well, what's the difference between seed viability and seed vigor? Let's talk about that. Seed viability is the ability of a seed to germinate. If a seed has been stored well and has matured well, then it should germinate, right? Well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the storage. So the best thing for storing seeds is to keep them cool, to keep them in a dark place, and to keep them dry. So cool would mean, I think optimal would probably be about 45 degrees. Dark, we can understand that. And dry, so low humidity. Now, a refrigerator is probably, maybe 40 degrees or so, but is pretty humid. So if you're going to store your seeds in the refrigerator to keep them dark and cool, then put them in a sealed container so that keeps the humidity down. Well, I've opted to keep mine in a box where they're dark, and in the house during the summertime, it's pretty low humidity. The only thing that I'm compromising there is the temperature. So they're basically at room temperature. That is going to affect the seed viability, but you know what? We'll do the best we can. Now let's talk about seed vigor. So when we're talking about seed vigor, we're talking about for the ability for that plant that's coming from the seed to grow. And seed vigor can be affected by harvesting methods, storage methods, and even though a seed is viable and will germinate, it may not grow to our satisfaction. The seedling may be misshapen, it may just be slow to grow or slow to even germinate. So that's something we need to consider about seed vigor. Now, on my seed inventory, I wrote down the seeds I had still remaining and then the year they were packed for. And that was very helpful. Now, some of the seed packets I found just said to use before a particular year. Well, that's helpful as well. Now, I looked also at a seed viability chart and I discovered the average seed length, viability length in years, which means so a pack of lettuce seeds should be viable for 5 years after packing. Okay, that's great. Spinach, not so much, 2 to 3 years. And of course, there can be some variability on this, especially about how you are storing them. Leeks, 1 year. Well, I've been really happy with leeks. I think I'm going to buy new leek seeds just in case. Beets, okay, that was one that said to use before 2026. Okay, I think I'm okay on that. Carrots, use before 25. Okay, so that would be about 3 years for carrot seedlings, for carrot seeds. And then radishes, peas, 3 years should be good. Broccoli and the cabbages, the cole crops, about the same. You can even find this for herbs and then for flower seeds too. So if you have some old seed packets that you wanna start, think about, are those seeds going to be as viable? And you could go ahead and try, but just to keep aware that if the seeds are quite old, you may have less germination than you were hoping for. One way to do an easy test on seed viability is to take some seeds and soak them in water, just get them wet, or lay them on a wet paper towel in a row. And you might want to use 10 seeds, something like that. And then put that in a plastic bag, maybe cover it with the paper towel so that the seeds are dark. Most many seeds will like darkness for germination, although some do want light. And so if your seed packet says don't cover the seeds, that's an indication that they need light for germinating. Well, anyway, on the seed test, the viability test, after 7 to 10 days, you should see those seeds germinating. And what you want to have is 70% germination. That would give you an idea that that's good. The seeds are still very viable and you'll have a good result. You might want to try that if you have enough seeds, or you may just want to sow a little bit extra or thicker if you think your seeds are a little bit aged and a little bit beyond their prime viability. That's up to you. You can go ahead and do that. Well, now that I know the viability for the seeds that I have, I know which ones I probably should replace and get some new seed for the result that I'm hoping to get. So, something you may want to consider, or you may just want to go ahead and try whatever I have. I'm just going to try it, not waste them. Go ahead and try it. You may have to get supplemental seeds. There are a lot of things that can happen. So anyway, there's a little bit about seed viability, the ability for a seed to germinate, and then seed vigor. What happens after that seed germinates? Now, if you're seed saving and you want to, let's say you're saving tomato seeds, you're going to want to save from the absolute best plant that you have, the most vigorous plant, and any fruit on that plant, because the genes would be the same on that particular plant. So don't scrimp if you're looking to save seeds. Save from your best plant. That might help as far as the seed vigor for subsequent years. Well, there's always more to learn in the garden, even when it's so cold outside. Bye-bye.